Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. I woke up like this, deep divers, all magical and fly, just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Raising the frequency. I feel so much better now. Raising the vibration. I feel so much better now. Take that, take that, take that. Hadouken, take all of that good ass energy I'm sending you, deep divers. The cat down the road told me you feel so much better now. Okay, look, let me say a big shout out to everybody right now who's joined the New Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content that's going to help you become your greatest version. Patreon.com/Ralph Smart Deep Divers. Click the link down below and be inspired. Okay, I made the video about the New Jersey drone sightings, okay? And we were talking about it, deep divers. We were really diving deep into what's really going on. But I got some new information for you. Oh, deep divers, I got some new information for you that's going to blow your mind, okay? About what they're not telling you and why they're not telling you. This information right here is going to blow your mind. I also got military experts talking, giving their take. We're going to talk about it, deep divers. I want all of you right now to hit that like button if you support The Real. Share this video. Once again, hit that like button right now if you support The Real. Share this video. So I was playing you that little clip, right, of a guy filming the drone sightings in New Jersey. Okay.
There's so many things in the sky right now.
And they're all kind of doing different things.
Look at all these up here.
Okay, we were like, what are they? What are they? Even the cat down the road wants to know, what are these drones? US government are like, I don't know what they are. We don't know what they are. Yeah, right. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? So let's play the report, deep divers, and let me play you some other clips that are really going to blow your mind. And I'm going to give you my whole take on this whole situation. Hidden information, deep divers. So this is the overall report.
The mystery widens. Today, people in the New York metro area are reporting a growing number of drone sightings in their communities following a wave of mysterious drone appearances in the skies over New Jersey. This is sparking significant concern among residents and local and state leaders. The White House and the FBI says there is no evidence that the drones pose a national security threat or have a foreign connection, but that's only adding to the confusion. So far, there are no explanations as to what they are, where they're coming from, or who is launching them. For weeks now, the drones have been spotted over homes, critical infrastructure, and sensitive government sites. Today, frustrated lawmakers have gone from asking questions to demanding answers.
New Jersey can't become the Wild West of drone activity. No state can become the Wild West of drone activity. I've made this very clear to the FBI, to Homeland Security, and the FAA, the agencies chiefly responsible for monitoring drone activity. They must immediately disclose more information to the public. It's totally and completely unacceptable that you have all this drone activity going on, that people are seeing with their own eyes. The fact that the federal agencies responsible for briefing the public have not come forward in a clear way is unacceptable. There has to be some explanation to the public for all this increased activity, and they must do so now.
They must do so now. They must tell us, deep divers. They must tell the US people, the citizens of the US, what these drones are, right? The government must make a full disclosure right now because even the cat down the road wants to know. Now, first things first, deep divers, like I told you, it is not the mothership. And these drones are definitely not aliens. This is coming from planet Earth. And in my mind, it's coming from inside the US government. They know what these drones are, and they actually put them up there. And I'm going to play you a video later on, which really goes into why they did it. And I'm like, wow, wow, that's crazy. Wait a second. They might be right. We're going to play that video as well, deep divers, but let me play you a clip from a military expert, okay? And this is fascinating what he has to say. Take a listen.
Concern is definitely valid. One thing I believe the government knows the source of these drones, and I believe the source of these drones are from inside the U.S., especially the larger drones. It's very difficult to fly an airplane the size of a vehicle into the United States without being detected. So I believe the drones originate from inside the U.S. I believe they're being used by government agencies or other agencies to support a specific mission that the government is not telling us about. The greater concern are the small drones that can be carried in a backpack, carried in a knapsack over the southern border by a nefarious actor that plans to do harm to the United States. So that's my biggest concern, and I think what we're seeing here is a combination of both. We're probably having U.S. drones as well as some of these smaller drones that are being flown in to do a specific purpose. Now, the question is, what are those drones doing? My belief is they're surveilling something. They're looking for something, either a chemical weapon, biological weapon, or maybe radiation. They're looking for something, or...
Let me stop it right there before we continue. So he's saying that these drones are looking for something. And that's what I thought originally. Like, they are looking for something. It could be a nuke. Oh my gosh, deep divers, we're going to come to that.
They're using them to pick up communications. Maybe there's been a lot of talk about having an open southern border, and a lot of talk that there's an imminent terrorist threat. We could be using those drones to pick up communications from terrorists. And what I think we're going to unfortunately see is we're going to see an event sometime in the near future that will prove that that open border has been very dangerous to the United States. So these drones are launching probably from a military site or an agency site. They're flying to a specific mission, and they're coming back and they're being refueled. There is a logistics footprint that takes place with all aviation, and that logistic footprint is very easy to trace.
So everything he's saying is that, wait a second, the US government, they know that these drones have to be refueled. They know where they're being launched from. So why are they saying they don't know where these drones are coming from? Something seems off, deep divers. We're going to talk about it.
If somebody's buying aviation fuel to fill up a drone, you can trace that pretty easily. So that's why I believe it's a U.S. drone. On the missions, you can put a sensor, multiple different sensors, to pick up everything. There's so many capabilities, and many of them are very highly classified, but there's so many capabilities that you can strap onto an airplane, whether it's a jet, a helicopter, or you can strap it onto a drone, and that sensor can pick up anything from communications to heat signatures to looking at people on the ground. There's so many different capabilities that can probably cover almost every threat that we're talking about here. So that's why I think that's what's taking place. The thing that bothers me is why the government's not telling us what they're looking for. Unless we were purposely not going after that. We have, especially on the East Coast, I'm very familiar with our Air Defense Identification Zone, our ADIZ. It's very difficult to fly anything into the United States.
So even this military expert is saying, why, oh why is the government not telling the people what these drones are? Okay, something must be up, right? And I always tell you, deep divers, if something feels off, it probably is. And when I first came across this story, I'm like, okay, because a lot of people are saying aliens. I'm like, no, these aren't aliens, right? This is a drone which was put up there by the US government. And he's saying, that military expert, for surveillance purposes, right? We're going to come to that. I'm going to play you a video. But in the meantime, what did Trump have to say? This is what Trump had to say. Take a listen.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people. And they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
You should know
they're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Right. So once again, why aren't they telling people what these drones are? Right. If it was the enemy, they would have shot them down by now. Right. So I'm going to play you a video, Deep Divers, where this guy has got a great theory that he came across, which kind of makes sense, okay? But you can decide for yourself about why they're not telling people what these drones are, where these drones are coming from. And this has been going on for weeks, okay? And right now it's like there have been these sightings in like over 8 states, right? So take a listen to this video, Deep Divers, and this is crazy.
So, the drones that are currently flying over New Jersey. Well, I just read a theory about them, and I got to tell you, I'm a bit worried. Usually I'm a pretty chipper guy, but this idea that's just got kind of spun up on the web and has a little bit of backing, if it's true, well, there's probably a really good reason to be nervous. And the theory is that these drones that are flying around New Jersey and now have matriculated out to areas around the Northeast are actually what are known as high-powered or high-precision germanium detection drones. Now, these drones were ordered manufactured following 9/11 because we wanted to be able to detect gamma rays. And if you know what gamma rays come from, well, you know why this theory is really nerve-wracking, because gamma rays come from fissile material, well, nuclear material. Yeah, like a nuclear bomb. So the theory is that somebody, some terrorist cell or some foreign nation has managed to sneak a nuclear bomb onto U.S. soil, most likely into New Jersey, the port there. And now, of course, 2 weeks later, probably has moved around, which is why they're now checking in Connecticut and New York and wherever points beyond.
Let me stop it right there. So once again, that's crazy, right? This could be why, Deep Divers, they're not telling people. Because can you imagine the outrage? Like, people might be like so scared they might leave New Jersey or the US altogether because they're like, oh my gosh, these drones are looking for nuclear activity, right? So they're not going to tell people, right? They're just going to keep people guessing, right? Let me continue.
Yeah, out of all the theories that I've read, this one is the one that fills in the most plot holes. This fills in the most gaps. Like, why is the government lying so badly about this? Well, think about it. If you're the government, you don't want the populace in any way, shape, or form to know that there is a nuke being held by terrorists actively on U.S. soil. That would create mass panic immediately. That's a given. I mean, what do? You find out you have a nuke next to you. You're going to leave quickly. So what do you say? You say, well, we don't know what they are because you don't want to tell them they're germanium detecting equipment flying around. But you know that it's not a threat. Of course you know it's not a threat, because a threat is what they're detecting for, not them themselves. You also tell them when these things crash to stay away from it. Could be that these actual equipment, believe it or not, they may have a little bit of radiation in them in order to detect radiation. Or they just don't want you to see what they are. Because if you figure out that they're radiation detection equipment, well, the gig's up at that point in time. They also use a super cold millimeter wave guidance system, which would be near indetectable, which is why they can't figure out the frequency these things are flying. It still doesn't explain the silence of the power system of whatever's making these things go. But yeah, again, this theory definitely fills in a lot more, checks off a lot more boxes than any other theory I've heard, including non-human intelligence. Because non-human intelligence, why this way? Why all of a sudden? And these craft, they don't look like they're not of non-human design. They look like they're human design. But why are we being kept in the dark? Why is the civilian government being kept in the dark?
So that's the big question. Why are people being kept in the dark? And when we talk about becoming our greatest versions, you've got to remind yourself, question everything. Because once you question yourself in terms of what you think you believe, the truth will be revealed. Once you question the media, once you question even your own government, you'll be led down a rabbit hole that's going to be so crazy that it's going to blow everything you think you know. And it's going to reveal the truth. And that's how actually you become your greatest version. Slow motion. Let's continue.
Dark. Why are the police being kept in the dark? The state police. You know, why are they chasing a Coast Guard ship on the shore? Well, if you think that there's a nuke that may be floating from sea to shore, any boat that's traveling at high speed sea to shore is going to be a target to look at, especially if these things are under some kind of, you know, general AI control or some kind of modified artificial intelligence control. It just may have a parameter set, follow a ship coming into shore. Makes sense. Why are they coming out to sea and yet somehow the government's not detecting? Well, because they're coming from the government. They're coming out from sea because they're the ones who are bringing them in. They know that they're out there and they're letting them fly into shore and check it around and going back out. And an advanced drone of this nature that's human made, well, it can only really come from China, Russia, or us. And if it ain't China or Russia, it's us. Again, you think about this theory, as terrifying as it sounds, this one makes the most sense. So yeah, I get a feeling this one may come out as having some validity to it. Now, if they catch the guys, let's say this is true. They catch them, you're never going to hear about this. Those guys, they're going to be thrown into a hole, and the hole's going to get thrown away. You will never know this ever happened, or how close we came to some type of disaster like this. Never. They'll never admit to that. They'll just paw this off and say, well, we don't really know what that drone hole fiasco was, and they'll let it go. They'll just say, we don't know what it was. It is what it is. And they'll let it fade away. It's just wave off the news cycle like everything else does. But obviously, if it does pop off, well, it's going to affect us. It's going to affect us adversely, really badly too. But I do believe in my heart that Americans are far stronger than people give us credit for. And I don't know why people always somehow just disregard that. No, I think we'll survive this. It's going to be painful. It's going to hurt bad if this does happen. But we'll survive. Anyway, that's a scary notion, but again, it's one definitely worth considering because, yeah. And that is news for thought.
News for thought. So once again, deep divers, that theory really makes some sense even to the cat down the road. Makes some sense even to the cat down the road, deep divers, that these drones could actually potentially be looking for nuclear activity, bombs, certain chemicals, and they are radiation detectors, right? And of course, the US government doesn't want the people to know because that's going to create outrage. People might be upset. And when we talk about becoming our greatest version, always remind yourself that you have to question everything because they've been lying to you forever. And right now, the only way out is in because things are about to get things are about to get crazy. Because when you have things like this happening, this is what you see on the surface. But what's happening behind the scenes? That's the real question. And it could be so hard for people to fathom what's really going on that it could actually blow their entire mind. So always remind yourself, well, you might see a story in the media, but there are layers, and there are so many things happening right now in the world that you have no clue about. So question everything and become your greatest version. I want all of you right now to hit that like button if you support The Real, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Once again, hit that like button right now if you support The Real Deep Divers, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you join the new Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content that's going to help you become your greatest version. Patreon.com/Ralph Smart Deep Divers. Click the link down below and be inspired. And that's why I'm just saying, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Check out the #1 best-selling book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the-book, The Bible of Becoming Your Greatest Version, and the latest new book, The Book of 1111 Infinite Quotes by Ralph Smart at ralphsmart.com/the-book, The Secret Recipe to Becoming Your Greatest Version. And go and get the good ass prana shirts, deep divers, all new designs you're going to love for men, women, children, even cats down the road at ralphsmart.com/clothes and Spreadshirt, and Spreadshirt.com if you're in America. And if you're a sexy ass model, woo, with a whole lot of heart, you want to model the clothing, well, go and buy some. And if you want a one-to-one consultation with me so I can help you become your greatest version, make sure you book it at ralphsmart.com/one-to-one sessions. Deep divers, the truth shall set you free. Every single day, make sure you are questioning everything, because so much is about to be revealed to the whole of humanity. Even the cat down the road has got his popcorn. Even the cat down the road has got his popcorn, deep divers. Peace. Infinite waters diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. Yo! Once again, deep divers, make sure you hit that like button if you support The Real. Share this video, subscribe to the channel. Once again, hit that like button right now if you support The Real, and leave a comment down below of gratitude and appreciation. One love. Peace.